KC Thunder. Shai, I think 7 out of the 11 guys that played for you tonight, this was their very first playoff experience. What'd you like about the way that they just handled all of it tonight, the noise, and executed late when you needed to get stops and get buckets?
Yeah, everybody that came in, everyone that came in kind of played their role, gave good minutes. Yeah, all 11 guys did their part in the reason why we won tonight.
Then I want to ask you about the go-ahead bucket late. How did you manufacture the switch there to get McCollum, and then what'd you see in terms of making your move and striking?
Yeah, just set a screen on the ball, and they switched on the dub, and then I just caught the ball at the elbow, and just tried to be aggressive and make a play that I made before.
Shai, we've talked all year about you dealing with double teams, triple teams, but the wall they built tonight, just how did that maybe compare to some of the things you've seen all year?
I don't think it was much different. They are really good at that defensively, and we knew that going into the game. It feels like that every time you play them. They make you work to score, and because of it, they're a really good defensive team. Are there ways you can attack it, and we can for sure be better at that. We'll try to do so for the next game.
There was a moment during that fourth quarter stretch where you missed a step back and then you put your arms over your head. I mean, you're never that animated. Just can you describe the emotion that came with that fourth quarter stretch?
Yeah, it just felt really good. It's like just a little bit disappointing when it feels good and doesn't go in. But there's a lot of plays left, a lot of chance for me to make it up.
Shai, just what are your thoughts on just the vibe in the arena and just the crowd in general?
Yeah, it was amazing. They were exactly what I expected. I've said this so many times, like even when I wasn't here and I played here, the arena was always electric, always had so much energy. And they were perfect, and they were themselves tonight.
And just your thoughts overall on how Lou defended BI?
Yeah, he was really good. Lou was himself. He was aggressive, made him make tough shots. And a guy like that is going to make tough shots. He's talented. But Lou did a good job tonight.
Yeah, Shai, what did you think about the physicality of the game and then yourself adjusting to it?
Yeah, it was good. It was consistent. Let us bump. I feel like it was what playoff basketball is.
A non-basketball question. First time talking to you since you signed the extension with Converse. You talked about at the All-Star break how it's a perfect fit for you and them. Can you just comment on the extension and then how excited you are for a signature shoe?
Yeah, it's stuff you dream about as a kid. Obviously, thanks to them for giving me the opportunity and the platform to live out my dreams. I don't take it for granted. But yeah, I'm super excited for the future for sure.
Well, I'll ask you about frustration that you showed a little bit more tonight, maybe than we've seen in a while. What is it within you that allowed you then to have the pull-up jumper on the baseline and then the go-ahead three-point play? Just walk us through sort of going from the heavy emotions one way to then having those moments late.
Yeah, I'm upset. Like when I make a mistake, miss a shot, I'm upset. Probably for about 10, 15 seconds, and then it's the next possession. If you want to win, you have to do so. You have to move on. And there's so many possessions late in the game when it slows down that if you let the previous possession distract you, you'll let the game slip, and I just try not to do so.
The last 14 seconds, you're up 2. New Orleans has the ball. Take us through what you saw and what you felt in terms of, I know Kaysen ended up being in the spotlight on that play, but from what you saw in that play and what you just sensed happening around you, how'd that play out?
We wanted to switch, not give up any threes, make them drive into Chet. I thought we did pretty good. They pressured the ball. I think CJ bobbled it a little bit. And then he ended up getting a decent look, but it was tough. So I think we did our job that possession.
I'm sorry, Shai. I'm sure you saw, but Trey Mann was here at the game today. Just how cool is it to see him out there, and how much does that speak to the culture you guys are building? That even when someone gets traded away, they're still a part of this family, essentially.
Yeah, it's super cool. Trey was kind of here for the beginning of the whole rebuild. He's like a brother to all of us. We obviously all appreciate his support, but yeah, it's super cool and fun having him here.
Shai, as a rookie, you played some big minutes for the Clippers in the playoff series. You had 2 key stops from 2 rookies with Chet and Kaysen down the stretch. How impressive is it just seeing from younger guys in their first playoff games sort of come through?
Yeah, I don't really consider them rookies anymore. They've played so many minutes, so many big moments. Once you get past 82 games, I don't think you're a rookie anymore. They proved that tonight.
Anyone else? Thank you, Shai.
Chet, just what's going through you as you walk off the floor after your first playoff game and first playoff victory?
Obviously feeling like I could, be better in different situations out there on both ends of the floor. But, it's always great to start off with a win. If I'm starting out at, 15, 11, 5 blocks, and, I can only go up from there. I feel like we're in a good spot. Getting some rhythm and everything back from being off for a week and kind of just finding that as a team, I think, it's only up from here.
You mentioned the blocks. You had the one late that you really met it at the apex. How exhilarating is that moment for you in clutch time of a playoff game?
At the time, what was just going through my mind was trying to make a play. And I guess that's what happened, and we were able to capitalize on that other end because of it.
Chet, that final trip to the free throw line, it seemed like the building went completely silent. Just how quiet was it to you in that moment?
Very quiet compared to like the rest of the game when I was going. Like you could hear a needle drop for sure.
What's going through your mind then?
Make the free throws.
I don't think that's the same.
Yeah.
I think it's a pin drop.
Same shit. No.
Just the moment when you and Jonas are kind of like wrestling for that old board, he lets out a scream, you start barking at the crowd. Like, what's going through your head in that moment, and just describe that intensity to maybe summarize the game?
He yelled in my face, and he picked me up off the floor. So I just barked. I don't know. It was good energy the whole time. I thought that was pretty cool. I got to bark with the fans. They barked back. Just competitive juices going. Both fighting for the ball. It's kind of playoff basketball. It wasn't like anything like mean. It was just more like both going at it. But like I said, it's kind of hard to recover. Like I said, he picked me up off my feet, so I didn't really have like a great response other than to bark.
Jalen, I wanted to ask you about the crowd specifically, and basically after anything that you did, you could hear the crowd barking. Like, what's that like?
Crazy. I didn't expect that at all, but like I said, it ended up making me bark. So we have great fans. That's in the NBA. So that was fun. Yeah, that was a wild environment.
It was wild.
And I don't have anything to gauge it off of. I went to Santa Clara, so there's a lot of empty games. So yeah,
It's up there with the kennel for sure. Yeah, it got wild.
Yeah, Jalen. When you get switched on BI or CJ, it didn't seem like you guys switched off or any of you guys fought through screens. Just being out there, how tough is it, especially in a physical game, to fight over those screens and try and not let them get to their spots?
it's hard because Valanciunas is setting them. It's a really big dude, but those guys are extremely talented and some of the best scorers in the NBA, so you just got to make it hard. B.I. hit some tough ones. C.J. McCollum hit some tough ones. And that's why they're on that team. Especially like playoffs, you got to have guys that hit tough shots, and that's what they do. You just got to make it tough and kind of live with the result after that. I think the biggest thing is just for every team is just not give main engines open ones and kind of just live with it. But it's tough. It's the job that we also get paid to do. So I kind of do it and just have fun with it.
Jalen, we saw visible signs of frustration out of Shai a little bit in the fourth quarter, which is so rare for him. What did you guys sense from him? And then you were obviously out on the perimeter when he switched off to CJ for that in the last minute there for the go-ahead basket. Just what did you see on that play as well?
To answer your first question, I think whatever frustration you're probably seeing probably doesn't have anything to do with the team. I think when you just hold yourself to that high of a standard, and you make a play that you didn't like, I feel like that's just a normal response. But he does a good job of not really letting anybody show it, or it doesn't really come out in his play. We looked at him with kind of the confidence that radiates off of him, and then just play off that. So it's something we don't really notice. We try and pick him up, but it's really not like he's down to even have to pick him up. So, and then he's willing to do whatever it takes. Everybody out there is ready to play defense on whoever's out there, and he's just one microcosm of it.
What about the and one he got? He switches with you and CJ's on him. Did you sense in that moment this is a Shai moment right here?
Yeah, MVP moment for sure.
It's a grind.
That was tough, man.
The other team shot it well, a lot of points, but you won the game. What can this do for you? This kind of game where it wasn't your typical up and down, a lot of points, easy buckets. What can this win do for you?
You want it? Or?
I'm gonna my answer's gonna be quick.
No, I'm just saying it's a grinder up a game. It's not your normal.
Oh
game.
yeah, that's playoff basketball. You got to get it out the mud. Again, credit to them. They played an extremely good game too, coming in here in that environment and kind of taking us down to the last shot. But I think both teams feel like we can do a lot of things better and kind of improve off that. But not every game's gonna be pretty. That's just the playoffs. You kind of look at a lot of these games going on right now. There's a lot of ugly possessions and a lot of just gritty, grinded out games, and that's kind of what it's going to be.
We've talked a lot about your guys' youth and playoff inexperience. In what ways did that maybe show or not show tonight?
I mean, no game's going to be perfect, whether you've played 100 playoff games or no playoff games. No matter what, there's going to be mistakes out there. There's going to be things that we can clean up going into the next game, and that's the mindset we're trying to have. We're not trying to think about inexperience this or anything outside of what we have to do to improve, get better, and try to win basketball games.
And then, Jalen, when you see just the intensity in which Lou defends with, especially the job he did on Ingram, what's that kind of do for the group to try to maybe match that physicality?
First team.
Yeah, he's a first team defender, man. I think anytime you see somebody playing that hard, it makes you play just as hard and try and match that. You don't want to go out there and he's playing so hard and then you give your guy an easy one. So I think it's just level of pride that he plays with on the defensive end, and I think it just kind of gives us all that jolt to want to play harder and cover up for him when he does get beat or makes a mistake. So which is a rare thing. So anytime we can kind of have his back there, that's something that we want to do.
Yeah, Chet, in the locker room, you were fired up about Kaysen, fellow rookie. What have you seen of him, and especially those last 14 seconds, the way he defended McCollum? What'd you see?
I mean, he's not a rookie anymore either. He's played 82, but that's what he's done all year long. That's what he's showed us all year long. He's a high-level defender, and tonight he showed that again in the biggest moment of the game. And taking away the look that they were trying to get, and making it tough on McCollum. So shout out to him. The questions we'd be getting tonight would be a lot different if he didn't get that stop.
Let's talk Thunder. This is a question for either of you guys. Pretty late in the game, I think it was the last possession, you guys sort of had a huddle right before the ball was thrown in. Who initiated that, and what was sort of said between you guys?
Mark probably initiated that in the film session a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I was the last one in, so I don't know. Ask him. I don't know.
Shai, I think Shai kind of pulled us all together.
Yeah.
Mark had shown clips about that, just like being a tight huddle team. Just kind of shows our connectedness. We really try and listen to what he's saying, and I think when we can take in what he's actually talking about, we end up doing stuff like that out of random. So it just brings us close together as a team, and talk about coverages and stuff like that.
I don't know what we were talking about, but I think it was like some execution stuff.
Yeah. I don't remember. I just remember it was a huddle.
Chet, what did you think about the block that you had at the end of the game? And Dub, what was your reaction on that?
I was just trying to make a play. Didn't want to leave things into the hands of the other team, I guess. So I was trying to go up and make a play, whether I was going to end up being late and have it be a goaltender or not. I tried to go make a play, and I think it was clean, but again, I'm not sure, and it's only a goaltender if they call it. So go make a play and live with the results.
Yeah, I was like on the border of goaltender or not, but I think just in those plays, you just kind of got to just run to the rim. And no, I thought it was clean. Yeah, I thought it was clean too, but you never know. So I thought it was a clean block. I just ran in there. I think I ended up getting the ball. So, but we expect to make plays like that, so it's not like a big shock. But I think it kind of shifted momentum a little bit, and big stop.
For 7 of your 11 rotation guys tonight, it was their first playoff game ever. What'd you think of the way that they kind of cut through all the noise and were able to execute what they needed to, just enough to get the win down the stretch?
Yes, tough game. I thought the defensive physicality, really the whole game, was really, really good. We really held them to tough shots. They made a couple tough ones. They obviously rebounded some of them, but I thought the defense was really, really good tonight. Obviously, on the offensive end, thought we got some good looks on some plays, things we can learn from. I just told the team, and I think it's true, these series are long. You have to improve through the series, and that's our challenge now. We got to watch the film, learn from it, be a better team on Wednesday than we were tonight.
So many possessions down the stretch that dictated this one. It seemed like after the challenge you were kind of animated, and it was a bit confusing. What was going on there?
Yeah, I just looked it up because I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. We had a game in Utah, January 18th. Same situation, 12 seconds left in the game, out of bounds called. They don't have it right on the floor. It's a jump ball. I challenged the play. It was Utah ball. James Williams was the crew chief that night. He comes to the thing and says, challenge is successful. Utah ball. Oklahoma City retains their timeout, retains their challenge. So, that was him addressing the camera. So I learned something during that game. Kevin Scott tonight came over, one of the refs, and said, I keep my challenge. And then they told me that they checked with whoever and that I don't keep my challenge, I lose the timeout. So, I don't think I'm wrong because it happened during the year. But if it was wrong in Utah, I didn't get a phone call because I've gone the whole season, understanding the rule like that. So I was very confused just because there's a huge inconsistency. If it was wrong in Utah, I wish they would have called me. If it was wrong tonight, it's a playoff game, so I was a little disappointed in that one.
Mark, what'd you see on that last play, and what'd you make of the way Kaysen defended that?
Yeah, he was awesome. He stood in there, 2-point game. We didn't want to go double, in that situation and give up a 3. He almost got the ball, but a lot of pressure, obviously took them out of what they were doing. They got a clean look because of the second jumper, good lesson there, but I thought we were competitive all night, defensively and including that possession.
Shai had a sort of uncharacteristic stretch, like midway through that fourth, just some of the shots he might usually make, some strange turnovers, but then he hits those 2 shots at the end of the game. Just what do you make about, him having resolve to hit those shots at the end of the game?
Yeah, the series are long, and we have to just improve through the series. Win, lose, draw, regardless of how we play. I thought we showed great grit down the stretch. Obviously, that was a tight game. It was a bit of a brawl for both teams offensively, and we made plays defensively down the stretch, big-time plays, and had the resolve to go and win the game. And so collectively, we learned from it, turn the page, be a better team on Wednesday.
Adjusting to the Pelicans' physicality and then the way the refs were calling the game early on.
Yeah, I think, that wasn't, I thought that graded out well tonight. I thought we were really physical on the defensive end especially. Took them out of a lot of stuff. They had to earn everything they got. Obviously, they were physical with us down the other end. We got to play with enough force to get through that. We got to play ahead of them a little bit more, but we'll watch the film. We'll learn from it again. These series are, anywhere from 4 to 7 games. That's a long time. It's 11 to 16 days, and there's time to improve over that time. So that's what we have to do.
Then guys didn't seem to switch as much as you normally do, particularly on BI and CJ. Was that the game plan, not to let them get their switches and get to their spots?
It was. I mean, we mixed it in there. We obviously switched a little bit when we had K-Rich out there at the 5. We selectively switched at different times. We put switching units out there at the end. So we did a good amount of that. We did a good amount of the other thing. We wanted to kind of sample everything tonight, see how they reacted to it, see what we could get out of it, and then we'll look back at it, figure out what we want to do Wednesday.
Seems tailor-made for a physical game like this. What did you make of his defense on Ingram?
Yeah, he was on it. Yeah, he was really on it, especially early. Fought catches, got him off his spots, really disruptive. We shifted him to McCollum at different times as well. I thought Dub did a really good job on Ingram. I thought Kenrich Williams did a really good job on Ingram. Kaysen did a great job on McCollum. So, it was a group effort tonight, but I thought the defensive physicality, the defensive output tonight was really good.
And then you played 11 guys tonight, sort of, riding what got you here, basically. Is that kind of your mindset behind that? Because so often we talk about shortening playoff rotations, but you didn't do that all that much.
Yeah, I mean, I trust our players, and wanted to give everybody an opportunity tonight especially. I think, you can adjust through the course of the series as things unfold, but we don't want to shorten our bench in a self-inflicted way, and so we'll evaluate the game. We'll evaluate what we think is best. It's not a precursor to what we'll do moving forward. We'll continue to evolve as the series evolves, but with the amount of success we had doing that during the course of the season, that's just what I felt comfortable with tonight.
Intersect with the Athletic. Just your thoughts on Chet's interior defense and specifically that last block.
Yeah, he was great. I thought he was really competitive. I think in the playoffs, there's a level of discomfort that you have to overcome. He got good looks early that he didn't make. I think he was like 1 for 7 to start the game. And these games are going to force you to clear hurdles and force you to overcome the adversities of the game and the discomfort of a physical, high-level game. And we confronted plenty of that tonight. I thought we overcame a lot of it, him included. He kept himself in the game. I think we're a better team at the end of the game than we were at the beginning.
Let's talk Thunder. You had Kaysen. You've talked a lot about this season about just exposing guys to as much as possible, and you put him on a lot of star players throughout the season. How much do you think those experiences helped him sort of get prepared for tonight?
It's everything. That's what you got to do in the season. You got to expose yourself to all the experiences, learn from them. No one's more humble in terms of coming to work every day than he is, so his growth curve's been steep as a result of that. We obviously trust him in any situation. He was, playing down the stretch of a really close playoff game tonight. He did a great job.
There were moments when I actually saw frustration from Shai, which is so rare from him. But then to have those 2 plays there in the final minute and change, what do you sort of put your finger on? Just what allows him to go from frustration to that in that kind of moment?
I mean, you can ask him, but I think the whole team is a first playoff game for this particular group together. These series are long. We have to improve through the course of the series. There's going to be moments that are uncomfortable, and this team has made a habit of overcoming the hurdles and obstacles in our way. This team's made a habit of growing from experiences. If we lost the game by 2 tonight, I have no doubt the team would come into tomorrow open-minded, ready to learn, ready to grow. It's what we've done over the course of time. It's what we're going to continue to do in a playoff setting.
Up to 14 seconds left. What's the defensive strategy in terms of you don't want to give up a 3, but you also don't want to give up an easy 2? So how do you verbalize that to your team, and how do you strategize for that situation?
Yeah, I mean, get the defenders on the court and let them do their thing. I thought Kaysen did a great job on McCollum. Bit for a shot fake right at the end, but I mean, he really bottled it up there for a second. And 2-point game, you just want to guard him. Don't want to give him an easy one. Don't want to put yourself in rotation. Have the defenders on the court to do it. I thought we did that. I thought Kaysen executed pretty well there.
Mark, with the power that last challenge potentially had on the game, are you going to call the league office? Would it be further discussion there?
I mean, I'm just going to figure out what the rule is, because obviously there's a disconnect between what the rule was in January and what the rule was tonight.
What's your message on Thunder-like game? It's 17-70 after 1 quarter, 43 at the half, tied. What's your message to them at the halftime when the shots aren't falling and the offense isn't as smooth as normal?
Yeah, I think, you confront this during the course of the season. You play a half and you get good looks and they don't fall. And in the regular season, you understand the nature of that. In the playoffs, because the stakes are higher, there's a tendency, I think, for teams to overanalyze that. But it's an imperfect game, and I thought we understood that tonight. We didn't allow it to impact the things we could control. We did a great job of that. And at the end of the day, you're going to have bad shooting nights. You're going to have dumb turnovers. All the same things are going to happen in a playoff game. They just feel different. And we got to get used to that feeling. And like I said, we'll improve through these experiences as we have all year.
Anybody else? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Do you have one more, Andrew?
At the buzzer.
I just wanted your reaction about the crowd tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it was awesome. Yeah, they were great. I thought really from the jump, that was a true home court advantage. Even, down the stretch of the game, obviously it was a rock fight in both directions. Just the level of support that we feel from our fans, that's been consistent all throughout, though. I mean, it's incredible. But I'm glad they get to enjoy this, too. These are great experiences for the families that come out here. We certainly appreciate them being as live as they were. We need them again Wednesday. So.